Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today once again with our month-end video here with regards to the gold economy and how we did for the month of July. For those of you that have missed my past videos, just to give you a quick little recap here, generally every single month we are tracking in terms of how much gold we're earning in the game, completely free to play. And that's been a really insightful journey because I've started this process since last year. It's allowed us to gain a sense of where the economy is trending. Is gold getting easier or harder coming into the game? With last month, we did see a bit of a drop, so I was very curious to see how July did, especially with the infusion of some events. Some newer things are coming into play here, but as well as the start of Chapter 2, obviously being circled around Blastar as the next legendary character. So really a telling time for the game, but overall, we've had a strong year all the way starting back from 2024, so I'm really excited to see how this unfolds, as they've always promised that they're going to improve the economy, and we do see that promise holding true for the most part. So quick recap here, guys. My 2024 strategy plan that I am using now in the new year, which is, if we set up a plan to budget every single day, X million gold per spent, or in a set month, how much were we going to come up with? And would we be able to keep up with the current meta as well as the game priorities in addition to saving gold? We found out the answer was yes to that. And from that analysis that we did in 2024, we've learned that we generally earned roughly 250 to 300 million gold per month free to play. So that's actually a really good way to budget in terms of making sure that not only do you stay on track, but as well, this actually ensures that you have savings at the end of the day from your investments while building up teams and staying competitive. And a personal goal for myself and my account anyways is that I want to hit and achieve 1 billion gold completely free to play. Just call it a personal goal of mine. And we are getting closer and closer, guys. So I'm really excited to see that. Now, this is kind of a snapshot overview of how the 2024 year did. And as you can see, these are all the numbers that we had from gold earned versus gold spending, what the net was. And as well, allowed me to kind of make these personal achievements as well. We stayed in the top 10 to 20 arena. We unlocked every legendary character, in addition to actually unlocking Mephisto in the top 4,000, as well as Odin in the top 3,200, as well as, again, guys, I'm 100% free to play. No battle passes, no strike passes, nothing. If you're following along the channel, that's what my advice is striving for, and it's tailored to my audience, which is those that are free to play as well. You guys can actually capture this journey while we continue this grind, as well at the same time staying competitive without spending. Now, as a quick little recap as well for the Q1 2025, consolidated this into a few slides because we obviously can't go through every single month. But as you can see here, we actually had a very strong start to the first quarter. January, February, March, all clearing north of 260, 270 gold per month, actually. So that average was actually close to 300. We are now starting to see a bit of a dip. I want to talk about that as well as obviously the recap here for July. But you can see we saw that dip slightly in April, where there were constantly a change in now the Shadow King and Logan trials. They release them every single month, which is great to see. We had the return of Sword Satellite in addition to the Fallen Dimension event. And you can see this is kind of the format that I want to showcase for you as we kind of continue here into the July review, which is we take a look at the starting balance of what we had from the previous month, which in this case was March, and then we add back what we actually spent on a daily perspective. Now, before there was the golden opportunity milestone, which made it quite easy to track. So now I have to use a spreadsheet to track my gold spending because they've taken that away from the game. But as well, any kind of other investments I make, in this case, Vigilante was the team that was released in April. I will generally try to capture that so you can see where the spending went. So overall for April 2025 anyways, we decreased our gold balance from 739 to 710, and that's really largely in part because of the gold spending, because as you can see 360 million gold was spent versus 287 million which was earned. So that's how we're going to keep tracking every single month now. May was unfortunately an interesting month because I actually left for a 2-week vacation in Asia. So we just kept things very standard and short and concise here because we were only able to actually capture a few days here in between for this month. As you can see, 15 days, which is why we have the 6 million gold being added back. But you can see from the 710 balance all the way to mid-May, we did increase it slightly, but it was a pretty alarming rate because we only actually earned 111 million gold in 15 days, which, as you can see from the previous month, it's quite significantly dropped off, right? So it was probably a bit of mix of war rewards timing, but then we would get the full picture once we actually concluded with May here into June, and which is why I was a little concerned because we did see quite a bit of dip in gold here. So you can see we saw the return of the Shadow King Quasar trials. Chapter 1 Harbinger was starting with all the new events and whatnot. Our gold balance increased from the mid-May balance of 731 all the way to 844, which is a net difference of 113 million. We also spent a bit more gold as well, as you can see, right? This is actually encapsulating the 16 days from May as well as the 30 days, but we didn't go over at all because there wasn't any new teams that I felt pressured to build. I think this was when Thunderbolts came out, but we could still actually partially get the job done with the current Hivemind team. So that's why it wasn't actually a big issue. In total, we earned 388 million over the 46 days, which approximated to roughly 249 million gold per month from May to June. Now, this is the reason why it was a little bit alarming, guys, when I made this in my last recap video here for the month of June, which is, you see that in the 2024 overview, we actually haven't seen an average this low since really June and July of last year, because that's when you can see, right, the transition of May to June, where we jumped up from 160 million into those green numbers being the 224, 248. That's really when we started seeing a significant uptick in gold economy, right? So that's why it was a little concerning to see this dip, because we haven't seen a decrease like this in basically a year. So that's why very, very concerning. But now that we have the entirety of July, the good news, guys, is that it looks like we're back on the uptrend here. So you can see, obviously, once again, similar Shadow King, Logan Trials. However, the Logan Trials has stopped returning now for the end game players, so we do lose a bit of gold there from that aspect. But they introduced it, and they started introducing some of these newer danger rooms. It's been a nice little avenue for additional resources. I think this was the time where they had a bunch of negative zones too, but I didn't include that because I found that some folks didn't like it or weren't a fan, so we just didn't do it. There's also some other optional things like the Accursed Tower and whatnot. Didn't include that just because not everyone was doing it, right? But July was a pretty big update here, guys, because this was the release of the Fantastic Four MCU team, iconic arena team right now. And as you can see, we did a little bit more spending for Franklin with his Gear 20 upgrades there, with the plan and intention to bring him into Age of X for the Cosmic Heroes. But you can see June 2025 balance, we started at 844 and we ended the month at 882 million, as you can see in the screenshot down there, which gives us actually a net difference here of oh, sorry, typo there, it should be 277 million gold as per the spreadsheet, as you can see. So even though we spent 238 million, because that extra 52 million came from the Gear Tier 20 upgrades to Franklin and bringing him from level 1 to 105, the 186 million, which is 6 million gold per day for the 31 days in July, we still actually ended up being positive and one step closer to that 1 billion gold mark that I'm aiming for before the end of 2025. And we're tracking well on our journey there, even with the investments and staying up to date. So good news, guys, is that we're back up on the uptick. We're once again above the average that we've seen in past years in my 2024 summary, which is right here, right? Remember, we should be getting some big months coming. As you can see, after August, in September, October, and December, we cleared easily north of that 275, 300 million mark. So that's what I'm really, really looking forward to. But once again, this was a strong bounce back month in terms of the gold economy. So it's good to see that uptick back again. Maybe it's just the ins and outs and events, but the good news is that it does not look like this temporary nerf to gold in the last months for May and June was actually a fruition thing that they're continuing. So that's good to see. So just continue doing what we're doing for the game plan of 2025, guys. Budgeting 6 million gold per day, or roughly 180 per month, continues to build a gold supply. Heck, even if you bump that up, as you saw with some of the months being 250 million gold, it's still going to take away from your gold balance. But at the end of the day, the gold economy continues to be strong, and it's not showing any weakness right now in the meantime. But stress that resource management, as that's going to be the key to the game, especially with new teams getting released every single month and obviously new priorities. So do let me know what you guys think in comments below. Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? I know the crunch for training gear is also a real thing, so that's what I've been hunting for in the showcases when they are available. So hope this helps you guys. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.